everybody, and welcome into today's episode of Around the Slice. And welcome into yet another instant reaction pod. We're kind of going with the flow here on today's Around the Slice instant reaction pod because the Buffalo Bills have signed star linebacker. Yes, he's a star. Star linebacker Terrel Bernard to a huge contract extension. I just wanted to jump in the mic today, if you will, and give you, my instant reaction thoughts to all this plus more coming up on today's instant reaction pod. So let's get to the contract details. The Buffalo Bills have given star linebacker Terrel Bernard a big, huge 4-year, $50 million extension. 5-0. So 4-year, 5-0, $50 million extension. That comes in at exactly $12.5 million APY, $12.5 million a year, which makes Terrel Bernard the seventh highest paid linebacker. Now, through the offseason, through the last month or so, the Spatrick salary projections have been steady at about maybe $7 million per year. I thought that was a gross underpay for Terrel Bernard. He deserves much more than that, and I was willing to go 12, 13, as much as 14. I wasn't going to cross the $15 million a year threshold, but 13, 14, somewhere in there, and I think 12.5 is a great market value. So 4 years, $50 million, tons of guarantees, tons of roster bonuses front loaded there. 12.5 per year. And obviously, there were 5 players coming into this offseason that were extension eligible. Defensive end, in no particular order, importance or significance, rather. Defensive end, Greg Rousseau. Running back, James Cook. Corner Christian Benford. And then the two that have been done, wide receiver Khalil Shakir was done last week. Please, I implore you, please go check out the Around the Slice instant reaction pod for that one. It was awesome. Around 10, 15 minutes or so, give or take around there. Not too long of your time. And then Terrel Bernard, which we have breaking news today. For a reference point, because he is a former Buffalo Bill, he played a ton of his career here. Tremaine Edmonds, 2 years ago, so in the 2023 offseason, he had fortunately left the Buffalo Bills, and he signed a deal that paid him $18 million per year. So his number is sticky at $18 million a year. That made, at the time, and still is, Tremaine Edmonds the third highest paid linebacker in the league. You have Fred Warner at 20. No, that's wrong. You have Roquan Smith at $20 million per year. Fred Warner at $19 million per year. And then you have Tremaine Edmonds as $18 million per year. Now, I don't want to sit here and dog Tremaine Edmonds as like, oh, Tremaine Edmonds, Buffalo Bill, we got a bash session. No. But Terrel Bernard, much more splash plays in terms of sacks, interceptions, tip passes, to force interceptions, force fumbles, fumble recoveries. Tremaine Edmonds is an athletic freak. He's literally a velociraptor. His wingspan is insane. Tremaine Edmonds is much bigger than Terrel Bernard, TB, if you will. It's just a fact. Tremaine Edmonds is 6'5", 240, and then Terrel Bernard is 6'1", 220. It's not even comparable in terms of their wingspan and all that. I will admit that Terrel Bernard, it's pretty clear, watching the film, watching with my own eyeballs and your own eyeballs, hopefully, Terrel Bernard, TB, did not make as many athletic, high splash plays in 2024 as he did in 2023. Not nearly as many interceptions, forced fumbles, fumble recovery, sacks, all that. But personally, I don't care about that because, one, he's undersized, but two, most importantly, he's the type of linebacker that needs a physical, beefy defensive interior and defensive line that can get after the passer. Because Terrel Bernard and TB is such an undersized, yes, he is underrated, but that's not the word I'm using here. Because Terrel Bernard, TB, is such an undersized linebacker to begin with, again, reference point, 6'1", 220, he needs a disruptive, beefy defense line front that can allow him to play downhill, shoot gaps, and disrupt the quarterback. He's not something that can create on his own. I think the splash plays diminished because of that. So I don't care one bit that the splash plays, quote unquote, diminished. Yes, they did in the stat sheet and back score, but he's still a tackling machine. The one thing I will say, Terrel Bernard, we saw in 2023 that he has the ability to make tons of splash plays on any given moment. In 2024, 23 and 24 respectively, we saw that he's a tackling machine. He rarely misses tackles, if ever, around there. We know that, unfortunately, this Bobby Babich and Sean McDermott-led defense misses tons of tackles. Really, the only two players, starters or backups, respectively, that don't miss tackles on a consistent basis are middle linebacker Terrel Bernard and corner Christian Benford. The two very physical, high tools, athletic players. Everyone else, unfortunately, starters or backup, mostly starters in this case, misses tons of tackles, much to my dismay, if you will. So, Terrel Bernard's great. He has the splash plays. He has the tackling ability. He has the high-end athleticism to shoot gaps, play downhill, whatever. Coverage ability has improved vastly from his rookie to second year to third year, respectively, in the league. The only thing I say is, though, this is a little knock, but not really. Because he's so undersized, again, I'll keep saying it, 6'1", 220, he does struggle to shed blocks sometimes. So if he gets blocked if he gets chipped by a tight end or chipped by a running back that's much bigger than him, like a Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, some of those girthy, low center of gravity running backs, he's going to struggle. And heaven forbid he gets double teamed, he's getting totally washed out of the cycle, if you will, washed out of the play. So I love all his athleticism, splash plays. The one quote-unquote knock, not even quote-unquote, just the one formal official knock I have on him is he struggles to shed blocks. But that's not, like, that's expected for a player that is like a low center of gravity in his undersized nature and undersized build. So I think if the Bills get a D lineman or two and a defensive tackle or two, then Terrel Bernard can really go back to making those splash plays because he relies on a big, literally and figuratively, more literally, a big, beefy defensive line up front. Ed Oliver, Greg Rousseau, they need to step up, especially Ed Oliver. We need a true nose tackle, but we already went over our free agent targets over the last 2 or 3 weeks or so, give or take around there. So, yeah, I mean, everyone says, all the fans and media say, the NFL doesn't pay non-premium positions like running backs and linebackers. Well, over the last 2 or 3 years, in recent memory, the NFL would very much like to disagree with you because it's trending the other direction now where they are going to back to pay linebackers. You look what Saquon, Josh Jacobs, and Derrick Henry got last year. They all got paid. A bunch of them got double-digit per year salaries. You look at Saquon, got paid for the second year in a row this year after just 1 year, $20.5 million for a running back. That's generational wealth, generational money for a running back. And then the linebacker component, the NFL disagrees with you that too if you're saying they don't pay linebackers. Well, look at Tremaine Edmonds. That's probably an overpay by the Bears at 18 per year. But perfect example, look at Zach Bond just a couple days ago. I can't remember the exact number. Yes, I can. Just came in my head. I had a brain fart for a minute. $17 million per season, APY. That makes him the fourth highest paid linebackers in football. So everyone says, the NFL doesn't pay running backs. They don't pay linebackers. They don't pay non-premium positions. This and that, blah, blah, blah. The NFL likes to disagree with you on that market. It's faded the other way. Not faded the other way. It's trended the other way, if you will, in terms of paying running backs. So anyways, Terrel Bernard, here to stay. We got a huge market value, not reset. That's the other direction. We got a huge market value contract, huge value, including Shakir's 13.25 APY million per year making. And then Terrel Bernard TB today, 12.5 million per year making, where Tremaine Evans came darn near 6 million more than that at 18 APY million per year, and Terrel Bernard's 12.5 million per year. Christian Benford, Greg Rousseau, and James Cook are next. Like, Christian Benford needs to happen within the next 6 or 7 days. I guarantee you within the next week or so, give or take around there, when the new league year starts just in a few days. I'm so freaking pumped. But that's a side note for another day. When you look at Christian Benford, I think within the next 6 to 7 days, at minimum, he's going to have announced a mega lucrative contract extension that pays him $20 to $22 million per season. If you're not a Bills fan, no one knows who Christian Benford is. Christian Benford is the best corner that no one knows about. I guess it's fine that he flies under the radar, but he's absolutely an elite, physical, athletic, high tools, shut down corner. He will literally erase your wide receiver. But this is more about TB, wide receiver one, actually. But this is more about TB, Terrel Bernard. I'm very happy for him, and I don't think, other than the size component and shedding blocks component, we're not missing anything with Tremaine Edmonds. I said that 2 years ago. I said that last year. I'll say it now. I'd much rather have Terrel Bernard at $12.5 million per year than freaking Tremaine Edmonds at $18 million per year. Literally a $6 million more APY value per year. And those resources can be used on Christian Benford, Greg Rousseau, and James Cook. I broke down James Cook 2 or 3 weeks ago, give or so. give or take around there when James Cook was demanding, and he still is, his contract. I like James Cook, but he's being annoying. Like, he's trying to become immature and childish. Like, get your brother Delvin out of here and get your, together. Get your crap together and cut it out. Anyways, Christian Bedford's next, then Greg Rousseau, and huge Gulf of Mexico gap between Rousseau and Cook. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, that is my kind of vision for Terrel Bernard going forward and my instant reaction on today's pod. Anyways, guys, please check out all the preview content we had over the last 2 or 3 weeks or so recently in recent memory. You could go back into the archive, if you will, and check out my Bills free agent targets on offense. I'm just setting the table for free agency. My Bills free agent targets on offense, defense, respectively. And then for the Bills' biggest AFC and AFC East rivals, we went over previews. We went over the Kansas City Chiefs non-biased offseason preview. Then we did the Miami Dolphins, then the New York Jets. And the next day or two, within the next day or so, we will be releasing the New England Patriots side of that. I mean, they have a crap load of money to spend, so that will be fun under Mike Vrabel, who I respect very much on the sneaky team. Anyways, guys, and then we're into free agency. That I can't wait. That it's going to be awesome. Expect tons of instant reaction pods. Expect tons of pods breaking down different contracts in terms of spot track, comparing value, what spot checks projected for the last few weeks or so, what they actually get. I cannot wait. I love diving into the nerdy numbers like that with contracts and stuff. I'm a football nerd like that. So anyways, guys, I will see you in the next day or so for the Patriots. Offseason preview, hopefully, and then boom, free agency kicks off, and we are rolling. Bills need to make some moves. Anyways, guys, I will see you in the next one. Thank you for listening to today's Instant Reaction Pod. I just wanted to jump on the mic today, if you will, give you guys something to chew on, if you will, for the TB Terrel Bernard big value extension. I will see you next time. Thank you for supporting as always. Have a great day and a great weekend. Goodbye.